Greetings and salutations, everyone. It's time for another episode of Viewport Relay, a bi-weekly podcast where the Viewport team looks at the latest news in the gaming industry. As always, I'm your host, Albert Corson, joined by Tristan John.
Hello.
And Alex Nestor.
Hey.
Welcome back, gentlemen. We are at episode 86. I don't know why that's such a special milestone. It's not. Mm-hmm. I just had to, give some oomph to it.
Yeah, it felt like you almost had another fact to give us.
Yeah, that's why I was silent.
All right.
You said you come up with that on the spot, so I was just waiting.
Yeah, so you know what 2 times 43 is? 2 times
Don't 43? Tell me. Don't tell me it's actually 86.
It is.
Oh,
it is.
Man.
You know what else 86 is?
God.
86 is an anime. And that's all I know.
That's what I was going to bring up too, because I just Googled it. Alex might actually like this. It's the genre is mecha.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
Military science fiction and romance.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
All right.
Anywho, we're not sponsored by them. So unlike Power Washing Simulator, which we could be sponsored by one day, but not today.
Yeah, this podcast strictly anti-anime.
It's kind of weird hearing it from your mouth, but
yeah, I know that person. But either way, let's move on to our opening segment, in which mine will be very lame, but we have to do it. What have you been playing? I'm gonna start because mine's boring. Because I've only been playing Final Fantasy 14. Why am I saying it why am I saying this in a Valley Girl voice?
Yeah,
I've only been playing Final Fantasy 14.
Oh my god.
Becky, he killed Savage. I didn't. I'm almost there. We're almost there. Either way.
We're getting there, yeah.
Tristan, you next.
I've been playing a couple different things. I was telling Alex before we officially started recording, our Clash group is back in action. It's been a heavy ramp up. We've been practicing about 4 hours a day. So that's League of Legends for folks who don't know what Clash is. Clash is like a bi-weekly or tri-weekly tournament that they run. So
Clash is Clash of Clans for me, okay?
I think we had this discussion last year.
Clash of Clans came out before the Clash mode came out. So,
they're
going to trademark the word Clash just like,
I've also been playing a little bit of Nobody Saves the World, which is kind of a top-down action RPG, different classes, online co-op. So, been playing that a little bit. That's been a lot of fun. But honestly, those 2 games, it's been a hectic past 2 weeks, to be honest.
All right. I was going to talk about one more thing, but I'm sure Alex will talk about it. So, we're going to go to Alex next.
Okay. We'll see if I remember what we're talking about. But the first thing I've been playing a lot of is Monster Hunter Rise came out. So I've been touching on that, playing it with some people in our FF14 FC. So that's been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying the new Silk-Bug mechanics a lot. Just kind of been enjoying that.
What weapon? I need to know weapon.
So the weapon I've kind of been leaning on is the sword and shield. My tried and tested. I like the fast and the Silk-Bug moves are really fun, especially the uppercut. I love the uppercut. Like, just shield bashing monsters never gets old for me. So that they made it more viable in Rise just makes me happy. And I honestly wish there was G rank / master rank out, because it does feel a little easy right now, but you know what? I'm alright with it. I'm in no rush to really finish all the content in that game.
They're not massively harder. I mean, they are harder, but the Apex monsters will give you, like, that tempered monster feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard that, and then, like, Valstrax and stuff will
Valstrax
probably be a bit of a challenge, yeah. And yeah, Valstrax is awesome, but yeah. So just slowly working through that. I'm not really in a rush since Sunbreak comes out this summer, so I figure I'll probably hit Mon Hun pretty hard once that drops. The other game I've been playing with a couple of FC folks is Gtfo, which is a game I'd heard about a lot, but never really looked into or touched ever.
We made fun of that game when we saw it at E3.
Yeah, we did. I remember that. But, so we ended up playing it, and it's got interesting ideas. So it's a co-op game, for anyone who doesn't know. It's a co-op game really intended to be played with 4 of your friends. And it's kind of like a mixture of primarily stealth to get around enemies that will detect you on motion. And shooting's kind of a last resort thing, and if you get detected, it's kind of a screw up, and it will waste a lot of your resources, which you are very limited on. So I would say it's almost like a quote-unquote hardcore co-op experience, and the idea is it's kind of like Deep Rock Galactic or another game, where you have basically a set of objectives that you're doing that are kind of copy-paste, but the levels are a bit randomly generated every so often, and you basically have to figure out how to get through them and maintain resources and not die.
It reminds me of like if you're in Payday 2 and you're going to do a completely stealth run so you don't take anything big and then you accidentally trip the alarm and now it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, it feels like that, but it's even more punishing than Payday because you really don't have much ammo at all and the enemies really, really hurt. So yeah, it's really unfortunate if you ever get detected. Which is a bit of a detriment to me personally. I'm not really a fan of its stealth mechanics so far. Maybe I'm just not good enough yet, but I don't know. It doesn't feel that good. So we'll see. But overall, the guns feel really fun to shoot. They feel very weighty and strong. So that's good. Other than that, what else have I been playing? I dabbled a little bit in Battlefield 2042 and Battlefield 4. We'll talk more about Battlefield 2042 later, because I know that's coming up.
Wow, look at this guy. Alex is
I
on the list for the first time.
I was like ADHD this week. I was just looking at games. I couldn't really find something I was really wanting to dig deep into. So it's just like a smorgasbord of random things.
Wow, if you keep this up for a couple more weeks, Tristan's relatable gamer, title might be in contention.
Yeah, I know.
What?
Unfortunately, I think we talked about it like last week or 2 weeks ago that I still have a lot of JRPGs on my backlog that I need to get into. Arise, Yakuza. It goes on and on at this point. It's too long to even think about. So I'm playing these smaller games that I can just hop into and hop out of.
Yeah, Rise is like perfect for that. It's like, you want to hunt one monster today? That's fine. You want to hunt 10? That's fine.
And it's like, oh man, the next required quest is a rampage? Guess I'm getting off for tonight. I don't want to do that right now.
Yeah.
I really don't like the rampages. I don't know. Maybe there's a way to make it fun, but it just doesn't feel fun.
You just play light bowgun or heavy bowgun and get a rapid pierce build, and you just see big numbers whenever
when you get the
counterattack.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but oh well.
All right.
Did I cover everything? Did I get the game that you were thinking about?
Yeah, Rise. I was like, I kind of want to buy Rise, but then I was like, I can wait a couple months.
Yeah, I'd say, there's definitely no rush to get into it right now, because, other than it has all the DLC content up to now in it.
Oh man, but if they port that game so it runs on Steam Deck, which arrives next month.
Ooh, yeah.
It'll be the definitive Rise version.
I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be able to run perfectly on a Steam Deck.
I've heard it runs on garbage systems on PC, and it runs at like 100 FPS. So
yeah. It's actually, that's something I forgot to mention. Is on my rig, which isn't like super high end, but Rise looks substantially better graphically than I thought it was going to look in terms of what actually the finished product is on PC. Like, you can set the render to like 150% and it actually looks really solid, almost up to world par. So it's very, very good.
All I can think of is I see some people, Arceus is coming out this week, and people are talking about, it revolutionizes a lot of things. It's actually really fun and really unique, which, I have no reason to disbelieve that. But then I see
I'm actually pretty
of the
happy.
game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I see screenshots of the game and I'm just like, oh god, someone did a thing on r/gaming. They put a picture of Oblivion running on Xbox 360 versus Arceus, the water textures, and oh my goodness. It's so bad.
Like, I'm happy to hear that Arceus, apparently from the previews that we've been getting, is actually looking to be a pretty good game. Because I was very afraid that it would be like a bad game, not only graphically, but also gameplay wise. But it seems to be not the case, that it seems to be, at least from what people are saying so far, fun. which is a good thing. But yeah, graphically, I mean, we knew that from Sword and Shield that had also come out before. For whatever reason, Game Freak just cannot design any kind of 3D environment.
It's like baby's first Unity game is what the textures look like in that game.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over Game Freak, but yeah.
All right. Tristan, you gonna pick up Arceus?
Oh, I already pre-ordered it. It's preloaded.
Pog.
He already bought it then.
Yeah. We there's, as with any Pokemon game, there's a race set up on launch day.
Yeah, of course. I'll be curious to hear what you guys say about it, because I'm always curious. I haven't played a Pokemon in a while, but I'm always curious to hear how they're doing.
I think the one thing that I've been saying is I cannot wait to get brutally murdered by wild Pokemon. Because they're just like walking around and stuff, and a Snorlax
they're just gonna
show up and
gank you.
squish you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hope if you walk next to it and he rolls over, you can just die. Like Dark Souls, you just die
Dark
because
Souls.
it rolls on you. All right. Into the news. How funny that we would talk about the biggest, look guys, it's the biggest game merger in like ever with Take-Two, right? Last week.
Episode 85 Viewport team was very naive.
It was very naive.
Yep,
because,
we didn't expect it.
You know, from the top rope, the CEO of gaming, Phil Spencer himself, he said, you know, we're gonna go, you know, look at our business dealings with Activision and think real hard about how we want to work with them in the future. You know how he does that, guys? He just buys them out. Boom. Everyone's heard of it. Everyone heard of it. Yep, acquisition. Everyone heard of Xbox acquiring or buying. I don't know what the word is, the business term.
M&A.
And merger and acquisition?
Yeah.
Oh my god, both in one. All right. Well, they've taken Activision Blizzard, which also comes with obviously King Games, you know, Candy Crush, all that stuff.
The what do you call it? The pinnacle of that group.
The pinnacle. Yep.
Yeah.
Zynga, step aside. You know, you were last week new. Now it's King. So obviously, easily, you know, 12 billion is so much, we said last week, and then 70 billion, huge amounts of money. You know, Activision, Blizzard game, you know, franchises. You got Call of Duty, your Warcrafts, your Starcrafts, your Overwatch, your Diablo. Crazy amounts of IP. Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah, Crash.
Pitfall? Pitfall, anyone? So yeah, Blockbuster, everyone was like out of left field. So let's touch on some high points first. I'll get some high points first, and then we'll go into initial reactions, and then I have some questions, some discussion topics. So, just the finer details are, it's not immediate, expected to be finished by June 2023. So still over a year away that this thing might finish.
Yeah, I think part of the contract is they have to pay in pennies. So they're trying to mint 70 billion as fast as possible. That's why it's taking so long.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's a lot of copper.
Yeah.
Inflation too, you know. We gotta
supply lines.
By the time they mint it all, it's gonna be like 73 million. A billion.
Yeah, they have to mint 7 billion more. So yeah, June 2023. Once it is completed, their business will report to Phil Spencer, CEO of gaming, not just Microsoft Gaming, of all of gaming, CEO of games.
Quickly Gaming, yeah.
Yep. And then kind of like a quote from Satya Nadella, who's the CEO of Microsoft, said that, and just a little, like, I found interesting. They said that the company would, quote, have some work to do, end quote, after acquiring Activision Blizzard, but that it was a company imperative that the leaders improve the lives of their employees.
Including the one and only Bobby Kotick, I'm assuming.
Bobby Kotick.
Yep, who's still in position. So he's there.
So let's roll into that one first. Let's talk about Bobby.
Robert.
Let's talk about Robert Kotick right now. Did he get his little bailout? You want to call it a bailout? I don't know.
Not quite yet. I don't think he's out of the woods yet. Because, I mean, he could definitely be ousted pretty readily now by Microsoft being above him.
I mean, did you see the severance package, if that happens?
Right, they were doing estimations, and yeah, he would end up with a little over 200 million in most cases, unless he was found, like, actually in a crime, basically.
Yeah.
Is it a little suspicious?
Sorry, this is kind of grim, but I don't know why they put death as one of the categories in this chart. Like, they're like potential payments upon termination or change of control to Robert Kotick. They have termination for cause, termination without cause, and then death.
Hey. Life happens, man.
Okay.
You gotta prepare.
Yeah, capitalism doesn't care if you're alive or dead.
Exactly. The money's gotta go somewhere.
You need that bag.
So let's talk about Mr. Robert Kotick here. Do you think all this stuff came out, all this Blizzard Activision stuff over the past couple months, everyone telling him to resign, he took a good look at the stuff, all these internal reports coming out, we've talked about a lot of the stories on this podcast. Is he just like, publicly, I'm going to fix it. But then underneath, he's like, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting my money. I'm retiring. I'm buying an island, Robert Kotick Island. Is this his way out? Did he just jump at the first offer?
Oh yeah, totally. We've seen it, the numbers that are coming out, if he just gets terminated for whatever reason. So yeah, of course. If there's no punishment for him getting terminated other than his punishment is receiving millions of dollars, sure, he's just gonna take the deal and then, silently walk away once his time comes.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the word. I don't know what the word is.
What is the word supposed to be? The bird is the word.
What are you thinking?
Like punished Kotick, but basically everyone in the world's gonna hate him, at least in the gaming world.
Well, everyone already does hate him.
Oh yeah, he's been hated for decades at this point.
But who cares if you have $300 million, am I right?
Yeah, exactly. And he's got way more than that, ultimately, in assets, so yeah.
I feel like this is all hypothesis at this point, but I feel like Activision Blizzard board was like, okay, we can kick him out after we figure out this deal, because they're going to get a better end of the stick if they get the acquisition figured out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Bobby doesn't give a crap. Can we say crap?
Doesn't give a cod.
Doesn't give a cod. And then, Phil's like, how can we make Call of Duty Xbox exclusive?
Exactly. So let's now, or go ahead. Did you have something, Alex?
Just a comment on that. Later on, it's for now, Call of Duty will not be Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
So they've made no intentions of making it exclusive, at least yet.
So I wanted to get into the whole exclusivity and this giant second treasure trove of IP. First treasure trove of IP being the Bethesda acquisition. And will Microsoft treat the Activision Blizzard IP in the same way that it will the Bethesda IP, namely being, keep in place whatever contracts are up, but after they're up, everything is going to go Xbox/PC exclusive, and then, further incorporations into Game Pass and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Phil's tweet was he was weaseling his way out of it, because he says our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation, that opens up another can of worms of 3 months down the line, they're like, oh, we couldn't find a business agreement, we're going to move Call of Duty to Xbox.
We desired to do it, but they didn't want to pay us, $2 billion.
Yeah.
So, sorry, our desire didn't come through.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a very big warning sign of a potential, monopolization of the sector. Is when they can just hold one of the most massive video game franchises, this being Call of Duty, potentially on all one platform. Or Game Pass, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, and I don't know. There's that thing, that Alex mentioned where they confirmed that the next 3 Call of Duty games will be multi-platform. So it was the next Call of Duty game, Call of Duty Warzone 2 or something, and then the next Call of Duty game after that are all going to be on everything.
They're just trying to count to 3. It's everyone make the Call of Duties as fast as possible.
Make them!
Modern Warfare 4, 5, and 6, I guess.
Yeah. So with that being said, I feel like due to the pandemic and the fact that the semiconductor situation is probably not going to be good for another 1 to 2 years, if they made it exclusive and people couldn't buy Xboxes due to supply shortages, but let's say PlayStation 5s were on the shelf, they would get so much crap over that. But if they can, we'll let Call of Duty be on for another year, for another couple of years, but then really it's just because, they're waiting for the supply chain to restore. So then if they did make it exclusive, like everyone can get an Xbox.
At that point, does it even matter? Because if they're supply capped, a StarCraft reference, and the players don't have any other option, what are they going to do?
Well, I feel like if for some reason it's like PlayStations are on sale in the stores, but Xboxes aren't, and you want to play Call of Duty, then they're going to be like, I can already see the tweets. People are tweeting at Bill Gates, by the way, for everything now. Again, just like Age of Empires, now that they own that, people are tweeting like fix World of Warcraft at Bill Gates. Mm-hmm. But they'll be like at Bill Gates, why did you make Call of Duty, Xbox exclusive? I only have a PS5 and I can't buy an Xbox right now.
I mean, I guess what I'm saying from a business perspective, does Xbox even care if the demand for Xbox is so high that they're supply capped? Why would they even want to give it to Sony? I guess maybe the software sales is going to balance out, but I feel like it's almost like the Nintendo tactic of they just keep it demand heavy forever.
Yeah, artificially scarce. Yeah,
yeah. I don't know. I think that personally, Call of Duty makes much more money from microtransactions that it's worth it to have it on PlayStation as well, just due to the fact that you're going to get so many more players playing, especially Warzone that's free to play.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's my feeling as well, Albert, is I think, Call of Duty is just this so ubiquitously bought franchise that's basically bought by everyone's father, child, son, daughter, grandma at this point, that it would only make sense to sell it on as many platforms as possible. There's no point to carry it exclusively on your console only, I don't think. I think you'll make way more in software sales probably just selling it to as many people as possible.
Yeah, I also think that, I don't know how much people love Call of Duty, but if it's between buying a $500 console and not getting a Call of Duty, I don't know how much people actually care that much about Call of Duty, but, gamers surprise me.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. So. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's hard to say. Because, even when it's a lackluster Call of Duty, I know that they're basically the highest selling game by far, no matter what. So, yeah. It's hard to say if it would boost hardware sales to that degree, just because they can't get Call of Duty anywhere else.
How about considerations for Game Pass? Do you think Game Pass, these games are probably definitely coming to Game Pass, which is going to be an insane value. Mm-hmm. People always
can't wait to play Candy Crush.
Oh god,
on every platform.
On every platform. But people are already saying, Microsoft's positioning themselves to be the Netflix of gaming, which is, I felt like what Google and Amazon were trying to do with Luna and Stadia.
Yeah, at various points, yep.
But I guess a lot of people were like, is a WoW subscription going to come with Game Pass or something like that? And it's I don't know at that point, but all I will say is that Game Pass is already a great deal. And with this, it's going to be if I already told you before these companies merged, you can pay, whatever it is, $20 a month or whatever to get every Microsoft game, which, honestly was not that many games at the time, but every Microsoft game, every Blizzard game, and every Bethesda game, every game that comes out, you can play it for free. That would already be crazy.
I'm guessing that they're going to introduce almost like an Amazon Luna channel situation of different types of Game Pass.
Oh.
Yeah, I could see that happening, where they first entice you with the initial, you just get everything in our catalog for a base price, and then they slowly dial it back in a typical fashion of an Uber or any other one of these new technologies.
You need the Bethesda Game Pass Plus or Activision Game Pass
to get
Plus.
this set of new games of this catalog or etc. Yeah, I can see that totally.
I don't know them going channels. I can see them doing 2 plans of games that you get on release versus like you get the games like a month after or 2 months after release or something. Because I don't know.
I think they do that already, right? Isn't that the difference between Ultimate and normal? I don't know if you get everything on day one.
Maybe that's already what it is then? Oh, I forget it includes Game Pass already includes EA Play. I already forgot that. Oh, here we go. There's the Game Pass Ultimate, PC Game Pass, and console. That's the split. Game Pass Ultimate, you get it for PC and console. And then there's PC and then there's console.
Oh, okay. So Ultimate comes with EA Play. The day one release is for everything.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
I have a feeling they'll split that out. And you know how Netflix has like the normal subscription? Like Netflix doesn't do that, right? Netflix could split their thing into channel like, oh, if you want the K-drama pass, you know, pay an extra $3 a month and you get access to all of our K-dramas or whatever.
No, they have the quality tiers.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why I don't think they would go channels. I think they would keep it like this, where they might increase the price of Ultimate to be like $20 a month, but then have another tier that's like, you know, you get all the games that aren't new releases or something like that.
I see. It's too bad I loaded up 3 years worth of Game Pass on my Xbox already.
Got it. You're grandfathered in.
Grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know, but that's a pretty good deal. But it leads into one question.
Who's next?
Monopoly concerns.
Oh, okay.
So Alex brought this up, but is this, I don't know, hot takes, is this healthy for our industry? Like, it's a good deal, but is it a good thing having, primarily at this point, there's two big players, right? It's Microsoft now and it's Tencent, right? Pretty much acquiring all these studios.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of centralized IP to just a few major corporations. It could potentially be very bad. Like in the case I was stating where if Call of Duty were to go probably like Xbox only, like you'd only play it on Xbox or Game Pass. That would be where I could see it really becoming more of a monopolization problem in terms of, you know, restriction of basically being able to ever use a product. As long as they keep it on other platforms, I don't know if it will immediately be considered a monopoly. Like in terms of keeping their software available to other platforms without major restriction.
I feel like, in general, I'm a little conflicted because in terms of the people in the company, I think this is good so they can clean house. But in terms of the monopoly side, I feel like I trust Phil Spencer, you know?
He's a good guy. He's the dad of gaming.
He's the dad of gaming.
He's gaming's dad.
It's definitely more personable than most CEOs, at least.
Yeah, but I feel like, what if this is all a facade? What if tomorrow we wake up and he just like enacts a 13-point Microsoft gaming strategy that just ruins
it's like
it all.
Execute Order 66.
And I mean, even if Phil is fine, what about the next person?
Yeah.
What if they do something?
Right? Like, what if Robert Kotick comes back from his island and is like, CEO of gaming, takes over Phil's spot? Please don't do that. But yeah. No, I don't know. I had the exact same thought. It was another question I was going to ask about workplace conditions. I feel definitely that they're going to vastly improve underneath Microsoft. I would have said if Microsoft already owned Activision Blizzard and they snuffed out any of these weird stories, you know, like that story of like people stealing breast milk or whatever, like all these weird stories, Microsoft would have just fired everyone, right? They wouldn't have protected. They would have just immediately, nope, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone.
I mean, to be fair, Microsoft a while ago was also a very wild place.
Yep. Yeah, they had their own share of stories.
Yeah. But not under Phil Spencer's watch. He wouldn't allow that to happen. I don't know. But I just feel like the workers are going to have a lot better spot, but it's a to be seen in terms of how this will affect the average consumer.
Yeah, immediately it will seem that Microsoft and Activision Blizzard will still have to take action on all the things that of course have occurred because it was very high visibility what happened at Activision Blizzard at this point in terms of all the stories that came out and the lawsuits that occurred. So it would take a lot of effort on Microsoft's part to make it just kind of go all under the rug and not fix anything at this point.
Yeah.
I think they will have to make very visible steps to actually fix Activision Blizzard's image.
The one thing I'm interested to see is Microsoft has generally had a very, at least from what we've heard, a generally hands-off approach when it comes to their studios so far, at least. Obviously, they haven't released, like Bethesda hasn't released any, they haven't started any new projects and released them, over their 1 year tenure of being under Microsoft. So we haven't heard any crazy stories about that. But, there have been multiple reports, like someone on the Overwatch 2 team recently literally set out and said the reason why Overwatch 2 got delayed was because of Bobby Kotick, right, getting involved. So it'll be interesting to see, not only has Blizzard struggled a little bit in terms of their workplace conditions, but the quality of their games recently have been questionable to say the least. Like the whole Warcraft Reforged ordeal, WoW kind of floundering right now. I guess maybe it's more just on the Blizzard side, honestly, but it's going to be interesting to see, especially with this deal not taking place for another year, what sort of changes might occur within just the product development process of a game. Hopefully for the better, though, right? StarCraft 3,
yeah,
Tristan?
That's the hope.
StarCraft 3?
Ha! Funny.
Maybe after, Age of Empires 4 has been mostly well received, so, maybe there is hope for the RTS genre.
You hear that, Tristan?
They could do StarCraft versus Halo, just saying.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
They could do that, just combine universes or something. I don't know, go crazy.
Heroes of the Storm 2.
No, Halo
featuring Master Chief from the Halo series.
Featuring John Skyrim.
John Skyrim? Oh yeah, they could too. Oh my god, there's so much.
Dragon. They're gonna add a dragon.
Oh, man. Okay, when's the Microsoft Team Brawler coming out?
They could actually make one at this point.
Captain Price
versus Doom Guy.
Wow.
I actually did do a little bit of research, and I pulled up the market cap of other companies that yet to that remain.
Give them some ideas.
Is Sony going to buy Square Enix? Is what you're going to tell me now?
So ad hoc game I'm going to put on you guys. Guess the net worth of these, or market cap of these companies.
Oh, man.
EA.
15 billion. That seems like too much. No, but they own Madden and stuff. I don't know. 10 billion. I'm dropping mine to 10 billion.
10 billion. Alex?
That's 7
billion. All right. EA is worth 40 billion.
Oh, wow. Okay.
FIFA strong.
Yeah. Another company that has not been acquired on the Asian side, Nexon.
Oh. 20 billion.
Nexon.
How much?
20.
Yeah,
that's too much, because they just kind of own South Korea.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're mostly localized. I'm going only 4 billion.
15 billion.
What?
Oh.
Man.
They got them in Maple Story's thralls.
Here's a close one for you guys. Square Enix.
Isn't that 8 billion or something?
Yeah, it's pretty low. I remember that. It's 3 billion or something.
5.6.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh, not even as high as Zynga. Zynga's
Yeah.
double.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, worse than Zynga. Here's another one. Ubisoft.
I feel like they're half the size of EA, so I'm going to say 20 billion.
Yeah, I'd go with only 12.
7. They're much smaller.
Oh.
Wow. That's surprising.
Yeah. And sorry, one last one. Sega.
Oh, they're puny. They're probably 2 billion.
Yeah, I'd go 1 to 2.
3.6.
Wow. That's surprising that they're so close to Square Enix, despite
Yeah, I thought Square Enix was huge.
just yeah, especially considering Sega's only a third-party publisher to stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Square Enix is too, but
Sega's biggest game is the Total War
a lot
games,
more
I think,
AAA.
now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I didn't consider that.
I think the TLDR is the companies that I listed here, all of them combined, is roughly worth Activision Blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do a quick search for me?
Sure.
What's the market cap of Sony?
Sony Gaming? Sony is like a big conglomerate.
Do
right?
both. Can you get both?
Sony market cap is this is in yen, I'm assuming. I'm assuming they're not $15 trillion.
They buy Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you just divide that by 100, right? So 150 billion.
Okay.
Yep.
And then Sony Games, I don't know what group they are.
I don't
forget
think
if it's
Yeah, they used to be
down.
Sony Interactive Entertainment, but that was long, long ago.
Oh, SIE. I remember.
Didn't they move away from that? I'm just wondering if in the future we're going to see a Sony.
Will
a
it
Sony.
happen? There's still a thing. 13.4 billion.
Okay.
So it could happen. They're smaller than EA.
Microsoft's gonna buy SIE. No, I heard some story where people were joking about that, and they say technically Japanese law don't allow their companies to be like acquired by other international companies or something like that.
Oh man.
So,
Microsoft has to expand in Japan.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna have to finally win.
I would say that the last kind of like the keystone to this story, or not the keystone, but the thing where 3 years ago, was it 3 years ago? It was like 3 years ago where it was an E3 press conference, probably the last in-person one that we've had. And Phil Spencer came up on stage and he said, we're acquiring this studio and this studio and this studio. And they named off so many. And
Right.
most of the response to most of them was like, what studio? You acquired the people who made, We Happy Few. It was like, that game was a bust. And then it was like, all right, you got the studio that made Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. And I was like, all right, that's a studio I know. And all the other ones were like, okay.
Acquired Tim Schafer as a...
Tim Schafer. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, and I think Obsidian was the other notable.
Yeah, I think that was the year after, when they announced.
Oh yeah,
that.
I think you're right. Yeah,
And, we saw, they kept saying we're acquiring studios, and this is, after the Xbox One era where, Microsoft exclusives was pretty much non-existent on that
a laughing
console.
stock.
Yeah. And we were like, yeah, okay, Phil, you're a nice guy, good try, keep trying. And then, flashback to 3 years later, and they're easily like the dominant player now in terms of IP that they own and studios that they own, which is just crazy.
It's time for new IP. That's what this means.
Yeah,
No more
so.
sequels.
That's what the EA CEO said. What did he say? A new IP is the lifeblood of our industry. That's what he said, right?
Makes
Is
FIFA
it?
23.
It makes FIFA
Yeah.
23. It makes Madden so bad that the NFL took away their exclusivity to make NFL games.
And I think their Star Wars contract is running out too.
I think that ended, yeah. Or it's ending soon, yeah.
Mm,
Speaking of this, speaking of new games, let's jump into a couple one. There's one that I didn't put on the list, but we had news today coming out. And since we're going to talk about, briefly, because there's not much to talk about, but Blizzard announced a new game that they're making. How apt with all this Blizzard news already. A survival game, new IP, and they're hiring people. And we got a picture, and it's kind of fantasy.
It looks pretty cool. Smile.
Are you going to make a joke?
I don't know. I really didn't have any adjectives in mind.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, what I'm getting from it, in terms of what they shared, it's gonna maybe be a little bit like Valheim, in terms of what you're getting. It's kind of a survival game, open-ish world, and you gather stuff. I don't know.
It's going to be New World. Easy. Okay.
New World, okay.
New World.
Yeah.
I love how, 75% of this article is about stuff not about the game.
Yeah, because there's literally nothing shared about it.
Yeah, there's not. I just want to bring it up. The other thing we learned.
Wait. I think the one thing, I saw a tweet making fun of this. The second picture on this article where it says unannounced survival game. They were saying if Square Enix made this, that would be the actual title of the game.
Mm-hmm. Or they just remove unannounced and just be survival game. Mm-hmm. Very true. Good tweet.
Good tweet. All right, the next one that we have, in terms of game announcements that we have no news about. Like EA and Lucasarts announcing 3 new Star Wars games coming out. We have a sequel to Fallen Order, which we pretty much expected because I think they announced it a while ago.
Yep.
We have a strategy game and another FPS game being made that is different. Well, Fallen Order's not FPS, so yeah, another FPS game being made, and they're all being made by Respawn in-house. So, Vince Zampella is going to do his thing, I guess, or something.
Working hard.
I'll
be curious to see what kind of strategy game. Did they specify at all what they're thinking it's going to be?
Like no, is it going to be like, was it Shadows of the Empire? No, not Shadows of the Empire. What was that one called?
Battlegrounds was the Age of Empires clone.
There we go.
Wait, this is... What? This is not that Star Wars cinematic trailer that they showed at whatever TGAs?
No, that was KOTOR Remake.
Yeah, that was KOTOR Remake.
And that was by that was by Asper, right?
No, there was another Star Wars game. There's like 7 Star Wars games
coming Star
out.
Wars, it's like a bunch of drumming and a shirtless dude. And
yeah, it reminded me of like Dune or something.
Like Star Wars Legends or something. I forget. Star Wars.
I don't even remember it.
Eclipse.
There we go.
So maybe that's it? No, that's by Quantic Dream.
How many people are making Star Wars games?
Right, the Quantic Dream project.
Yeah,
David Cage's Star Wars. I remember that. Okay, I remember now.
David Cage. There's a lot of Star Wars.
That's the one I'm excited for. Yeah, Disney's just throwing the IP around to anybody who's not DICE.
They're pulling a Games Workshop now. They're just like, everyone take it. All right, let's move on. Okay, we have a small thing. A sad story, one might even say, but not really that sad because it's kind of expected. EA is reportedly very disappointed with how Battlefield 22 is performing and is looking at all options, including a free-to-play system.
Now I'm glad I refunded the game.
Yeah, it's rough. And the reason why I didn't touch upon it much when I was the what you've been playing section is because I very briefly played this game, like a couple rounds. And unless you're playing in primetime, it's very hard to get a match.
Oh,
I've found.
No.
Oh, really?
Like, the player count is just awful. I have crossplay on, and I tried turning it off and on. I don't know. It didn't seem to help at all. I don't know. That's also why you should have a server browser in your game.
128 players is too many.
So yeah, that game is struggling right now. I'll say that much. If you look at the Steam charts, it's like dropped down to like maybe 5,000 players active per day.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not good right now.
So I pulled the numbers yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
The 24-hour peak was 5,721. And let me get a comparison for you. Battlefield 5 right now, the 30 player, or let's see, let me get the 24. The 24-hour peak of Battlefield 5 is 19,000, which is 4 times as much.
Well, that's probably because 2042 is sucking, right?
It is, yeah, partly, yeah. And you have to go back to either Battlefield 4, which is actually pretty active still. You can find plenty of full servers on that, or you can do Battlefield 5 if you want to do World War II.
Battlefield 1, 8,400.
Yeah. I hear that's a pretty popular one in Europe still. Not surprising. But, yeah. Anyways,
what is that?
The Europeans generally have a much more closeness of history to the First World War rather than the Second. Even though the Second conflict is obviously bad. Yeah. But anyways, so 24-2, it doesn't feel good to play right now, and it's not doing well right now. I've heard the rumors that they want to potentially do free to play, which would suck a lot for people who spent full price for this game. I don't know if they're gonna somehow like recompensate you or not.
Yeah, two loot boxes,
two skins, 2 loot boxes. Yeah,
a skin that says I was stupid enough to pay full price for this game.
A dog tag. No, you don't even get a skin. You get a dog tag.
So yeah, it's unfortunate.
So I think this just reaffirms, right, to all you shareholders out there that are like, we need the money now, our quarterly goals need it and whatnot. They had to delay the game once. They probably delayed it as much as they, corporate would allow them to. and they still knew it wasn't ready, and they launched the game. And now essentially the reputation of this game is irrecoverably destroyed. And
yeah, it's going to be almost impossible to recover it, I think. I have no idea what went into the process of designing this game. Like, I don't know if they were supposed to do like if they just ran it through an algorithm machine and they were like, all right, we need a battle royale, 128 player, massive battlefield game. And then they just like, wait, this doesn't work at all. Let's retool it down to just a normal battlefield game. And then they just spat it out at us.
I love how, we forgot the fact that the director just was like, I finished the game. I'm out. Goodbye.
Oh, yeah,
I'm going to another company.
Yeah, and he was potentially maybe part of the directional issues of DICE in recent years. But yeah, it's hard to say for certain when you're not on the inside. So yeah, rough times at DICE. And yeah, the other story is that they were apparently shot down on the idea of making a Battlefront 3 for Star Wars. So that was another tidbit.
That's okay. They would have figured out a way to mess that one up too.
Yeah, probably.
I remember the whole loot box controversy of Battlefront 2 when that came out.
Mm-hmm. And the card system,
so
I don't know how DICE recovers from this, because they have been notably in decline over the past years, so this is kind of the lowest point they could possibly be at this point. With,
I think the game just needed an update. I think it can get
it needs major updates. Yeah, definitely.
They spent the first month and a half just fixing the game, and then now it's been another month.
Still pretty broken.
Yeah, now it's another month, and there's still no new maps or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like EA's in a prime spot to be acquired, if you know what I mean.
Or at least, DICE can be sold off, I guess, for pennies.
Oh no!
Yeah, I don't know.
Ship BioWare along with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Albert caring about his babies.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Give Mass Effect to his studio.
Get him out of there.
Put Maxis in there too. I want a new SimCity.
Yeah.
Can you bring back Westwood while you're at it?
Mm-hmm. Gives a Command and Conquer that isn't whatever that mobile game was.
Don't stop. How does that game keep coming up? Oh,
I keep forgetting until you mention Westwood. Rivals. There we go.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just really disappointed in this game because they said, Battlefield 5 was finally in like this renaissance period where they just released that big update with the Pacific, and then they're like, sorry guys, we're shutting down any other content for this game because we want to spend an extra year making the next Battlefield really good. And then it was flop, and it's like...
Yeah, they really bamboozled us with the marketing, made it look pretty good, so it's unfortunate. I played myself by falling for it.
Honestly, if they launch this game, I think we talked about it last time, but like last time we'll say, if they launch this game with like that third update that they released like in early December, I think the reception would have been fine.
It would have been a lot more playable, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had just a lot of really big issues at launch that it should never have had.
All right. Speaking of games that are doing good, though, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel came out last week. Free-to-play game. A game by ya boy Konami, of all places.
Yep, they're making video games, at least this one.
They are. Hitting a peak concurrent users on Steam of 241,000, which was number 4 when I was randomly checking of like the top played games on Steam, above Apex Legends.
Wow, impressive. And
over 10 times any other Yu-Gi-Oh game. I didn't even know this game was coming out.
Same.
Yep.
That's it. That's the story.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I'm not totally surprised because I'll be honest with you, I played like the older like Game Boy Advance, DS and 3DS games. The Yu-Gi-Oh franchise has actually been a very solid digital platform. So to release a like free to play, or what I'm assuming is a free to play like game where you probably have microtransactions or something.
Yeah, you can buy packs. But I heard you could actually get quite a bit of cards, like an acceptable deck without spending money.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, that doesn't surprise me then that this game would be fairly popular because the series in the past has been very solid. And if they just built off that, made a decent free-to-play platform for card games, people love that. Hearthstone, obviously. I think Magic the Gathering has had a couple digital platforms that people have either not liked or liked.
I mean, there's Legends of Runeterra, right? That's the League card game.
Yeah, League does have one as well. So there's definitely no shortage of demand for card games. So to have a solid one like Yu-Gi-Oh come out, I can see why people jump on it.
You guys just wait. The new Pokemon TCG Live is coming out in Q1 this year.
No.
Gonna blow all the...
No, it's not.
So the Pokemon trading cards, like the physical ones, they come with the QR code that you can redeem in the online version. Mm-hmm. I've been saving them for the past few months. I have like a mountain of QR codes, just so when it releases, I'm gonna be hitting the ground running.
That's actually a pretty interesting thing to think about, because I think primarily Magic's probably the most popular physical card game. I'm curious how Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon TCG rate in terms of each other.
I think Pokemon's still pretty big. I don't know about Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah.
It's hard to say. I haven't been in the card scene forever.
The collector's market kind of muddles the waters.
It definitely does, yeah. There's definitely a bias towards Pokemon because a lot of influencers and stuff have been, shilling the product.
Alrighty. This one's for Tristan.
And me.
Oh, but you don't have a Switch.
I don't, but I still like it every time I see it.
Kirby and the Forgotten Land, continuing the Nintendo tradition of just shadow dropping a trailer like a month to 2 months before. I think we had like Origami King was the last time they did this.
Yep.
Coming March 25th.
Just on a random Wednesday morning.
That's when Nintendo is at their peak. Wednesday morning.
Wednesday mornings.
When no one else would ever dare have a peak.
That's true. They avoided all the other news stories.
So
go ahead.
I have my notes for my trailer analysis. I have
trailer analysis.
Yeah. So I have 3 bullet points. It's there are power-ups like normal.
Yeah.
Not open world ... question mark. Because I saw like a level select screen, I think.
Yeah.
And then I saw gotcha capsules.
Yes.
Yep.
Those are my 3 notes. Of course, fishing Kirby as well. The fishing Kirby meme.
Of course, yeah.
I think my takeaways were 3D movement looks really good. Almost like Super Mario Odyssey-esque.
Okay, no. You're not going that far. We're not going that far.
I thought they were going to screw it up.
Kirby doesn't really have platforming in it, okay?
Okay, that's a story for another day. But, I thought they were going to screw it up, and I'm pleasantly surprised that they didn't screw it up.
I'm with Tristan on this. I agree. I thought it looked really good movement-wise.
Second, I also enjoyed the fishing part. I smiled when I saw that. Mm-hmm. And then third, that weird flying squirrel blue thing is definitely gonna be some weird demon in disguise.
Some interstellar monster that Kirby has to eventually destroy at the end, right?
Yeah. Those are my comments when I watched the trailer.
What about Waddle Dee?
Oh my god, there was this whole controversy on Twitter. They're like, why
Twitter
is
correspondent Tristan Jung coming in?
They're like, why is Waddle Dee with the bandana a main character in a Kirby game?
Oh.
That's like putting a hat on a Goomba and calling that a main character. First of all, that already exists in Paper Mario. I think Paper Mario does have a Goomba with a hat.
They're forcing Waddle Dee representation in my video game.
God.
I'm upset.
And also, Bandana D, which is their official name, has been present in Kirby games for a while now. So I don't know what they're talking about.
Can we talk about Kirby with a gun?
I like the dig. The dig power-up's pretty cool.
It's like a blunderbuss. It
is, yeah.
I don't know. Overall, this game just looks really fun.
It does.
I think it'll be a really solid Switch game.
There was a thing at the end of the trailer, which I think was a pre-rendered cutscene, but it was him going. It was the lighting was really nice looking.
Yeah, it was like a near level.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah,
like in the
definitely.
desert.
Yep, I
And
know what you're talking about. Yep.
I was like,
yep.
this has to be pre-rendered, right? This is not like some RTX
probably.
on technology going on
On the Switch.
on the Switch.
Directed by Sakurai. He opened all the cores.
Tristan, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Are you excited?
Choose your words wisely.
Oh no, do I curse it? No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm anticipating the day when I can
Have
play
you pre-ordered
this game.
this game yet?
I have not.
Will you pre-order this game?
Of course.
Okay. That's all.
Come
I
on,
need to know.
it's Kirby's 30th birthday. I
Yeah, no
gotta
kidding.
celebrate it.
That's true.
It looks like they're also trying for this game, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Friggin' Star Allies.
Hey, they released like 4 Kirby games that year, right? Something like that. They did like that mobile game thing and the free-to-play
Robobot?
Switch game with Gotcha in
What's
it or
that?
something.
Robobot was a while ago. That was okay. Yeah, they did the fighters. Kirby.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
This next story, it's not really a story, but I did see it and we all anticipated it, so I'm just bringing it up because we wanted vindication. Rainbow Six Extraction is really bad.
Yeah, I've been hearing very mid things about it, mostly negative. It has like a couple cool ideas, which is namely probably the idea of where you have like injuries and you have to like sub out a teammate and you can play as another operator. Or if they get downed, obviously you gotta do like this weird extraction rescue mission. That's about the only good things I've heard about it.
It has
Yeah.
a 72 on OpenCritic right now.
Yeah, okay.
Which is the
I've
same
heard-
as Call of Duty Vanguard.
I've heard mixed things as well. My biggest takeaway is they should have just kept it as a mode in Siege, because this is how it started.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are
Right.
confused on why they're charging like $40 or $60 for something that existed before.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff going on at Ubisoft. I feel like they haven't
And
really
Assassin's
been-
Creed is good.
Like, Assassin's Creed
Mhm.
is good, but then, like, Skull and Bones is in, like, perpetual weirdness. This game's kind of meh. I feel like the only thing people are really excited coming from Ubisoft is, like, the next Mario Rabbids game.
Wait.
Mhm.
Are you down playing Far Cry 6?
Oh, that too! Oh, that was also really mediocre. Oh, man.
And don't forget, there's probably at least 5 people still really excited for Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Oh no.
That game's definitely coming out someday.
That game has, like, switched directors, I feel like, 3 times at this point.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
I think I will check this out because it is part of Game Pass Ultimate,
Oh,
the
there you
greatest
go.
deal in video gaming, available for $15
Thanks,
a
Phil.
month. And you can get it on PC.
well, let us know how it is.
I will do.
You'll give us more of a field report once we got a better image of it, because otherwise, right now, I really only have secondhand opinions to give.
Yeah. And I want to clarify my wording. I said it was a really bad game. It's not really that bad. It's just very mediocre.
Yeah. That's what I've heard. Is generally it doesn't really present anything new to the like co-op zombie game world. It doesn't really do.
Yeah, we got that for...
doesn't really do anything with its like source material, which is the siege operators.
I just want to remind everyone that this game used to be called Rainbow Six Quarantine, and then COVID happened, and they're like,
Yeah, then
we
they
can't
realized,
call our game Quarantine.
Maybe that'd be a bad idea.
Yeah.
You
All right.
could ride that wave.
Oh, so our last story, not really a story, it's just Square Enix put out a thing of like, oh, here's our games that are coming out this year. And I was
Yep.
like, oh, let's go through them and see if we're hyped for any of these games or not, or if we're not, or like what's going on in Square Enix land. A note, there aren't any games on this list. Well, there's 2 games on this list that don't have a release date, but they're not really what I would call like they're AAA, they're banking on these games. So we're definitely expecting some more announcements later this year. Final Fantasy 16, maybe?
Final Fantasy 16, please.
Please. Anyways, let's go through that list of games they had and a couple extras that I added because they forgot some of their games somehow. I don't know why. Who knows? Life is Strange Remastered Collection coming out Feb 1. Okay. Nice. Oh gosh, this next one I'm so conflicted on. Babylon's Fall, March 3rd.
Yeah, I've heard they've done like gameplay tweaks and stuff apparently to this since we've last seen it, so I don't know, maybe it's a lot better now, but I'm expecting it's probably not, so this might be one of the mediocre Platinum Games titles, which is unfortunate.
Yeah,
but
it's looking that way.
Here we are.
We got so hyped for this when they had that awesome CGI trailer.
Well, yeah, and they're like, oh my god, it's Platinum Games, and Square Enix doing something again, because Nier Automata was so good, and then we got this.
Pretty much.
Who knows? Maybe it'll surprise us when it comes out.
The day after, we get a certain game called Project Triangle Strategy coming out. March 4th.
That game, it actually looks legitimately really fun. Tactics successor, I'm all for those.
I played the demo.
I love tactics.
I was really bad at the demo. I'm concerned about picking this game up.
It takes a little bit to get into the tile strategy RPG games.
I think it's not Advanced Wars, man. If it's not Advanced Wars,
no.
It's more like Fire Emblem. Yeah, it's more like Fire Emblem.
Yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics is quite a bit different beast from those. Yeah.
Any hype on this? Is anyone picking this up? I'm on the fence, but I don't think I will.
What, Triangle Strategy?
Yeah,
I might if it's on a platform that isn't Switch.
If maybe a year later.
Yeah, it'll probably come out on PC. Square Enix has seemed to have. Well,
Octopath came out a year later, so I think this would too.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe, yeah.
Next one, this one's a spicy one. Chocobo GP Grand Prix, March 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they have so many games launching in March?
Online races for up to 64 players.
Right, really?
Damn.
Yeah, that's what it says. It's sure to be a quizzy time.
This is the game that will get Tristan back to 14, Copium. He'll be like, wow, look at Gilgamesh. I wish I could play on a server called Gilgamesh. Why
I might try this game, to be honest. It might be fun.
I need to see the reviews of this game.
Yeah,
64 sounds crazy, though.
It does. I haven't played a kart racer in a long time, so maybe this is the one I just kind of mess around in a little bit.
Hey, Mario Kart 9, the rumors, we talked about them last time.
Yep.
All right. This next one. Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin on March 18th.
Anybody who hasn't been on the internet the past few days, they released a bomb trailer for the story.
Oh, did they?
A couple days ago. They play Frank Sinatra's "My Way" in the. I'm not even kidding.
Heck?
I had to check my internet tabs and make sure I didn't have a wrong tab open or something when it was playing. I was like, "What the hell is the music hung from this trailer?" And it was. I don't know what they're doing with that game. It's absurd, and I kind of dig it. If they just go full into the crazy arc, I'm all for it. And it looks like kind of a Neo or 3D Ninja Gaiden with Final Fantasy Code of Paint. So I'm all for that. It looks fun. It honestly looks really good. And they released a gameplay trailer, I think either today of recording or yesterday. So yeah, looks really solid actually. Despite the memes
you
of
have
the
to pick, I feel like you
main
have
character.
To pick this up.
Oh yeah, I totally will.
Is it PC?
Yeah, this is totally up my alley. I believe so.
Okay.
I thought I saw it on Steam, but
Okay.
I will check after.
Switch only exclusive.
Oh no.
Yeah, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Windows.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I'm really excited for that game. Actually, it looks really fun. I think they're doing something good with it.
We all laughed at it at the start, but I feel like this game is a sleeper.
Yeah, I feel like the story's just gonna be really, really stupid, which is, whatever. But the gameplay actually looks legitimately really good for an action game.
This
and
has
that's all I can really ask for.
Already written it. It's gonna have what is it called? Like a cult classic. It's gonna have already a follower. It already has a group of followers.
It's from the first trailer, it's created of course, the chaos meme. But then they had in the demo, he has his cell phone out and stuff.
Music,
it's it's just so silly. I don't know. If it's got that vibe the entire way, I'm all for it. I can just dig that. It vibes with me. So.
All right.
It'll be cool.
Then there are second to last game, or last game with a release date so far, Forspoken on May 24th. I gotta see more. I'm interested in this game, but I gotta see more.
Mm-hmm. I think, again, the gameplay looks really good. So yeah, it could potentially be really fun, but I think I'm with you where I need to see a little more what exactly it's trying to do.
Yeah.
I guess I don't have a good sense of like what the kind of general gameplay is gonna be in terms of a loop or whatever.
This is like a game where it's like you gotta wait for a review to come out before you put your hands on it.
Yeah.
The last one I had was Star Ocean: The Divine Force. I've never heard of this game in my life, but it's coming out. And why they would forget to put Triangle Strategy in this article, but make sure to put Star Ocean: The Divine Force?
Yeah, it's unfortunate because, I remembered that they had announced a new Star Ocean game somewhere. I don't remember where they did. Maybe it was the Game Awards or somewhere else, but yeah. I remember seeing the trailer for it, and I remember thinking its graphics looked like it came from, like, 2 gens ago.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, because Star Ocean is a really good old JRPG series, but yeah, it just looks a little crusty. So, hopefully it plays a little better.
I just want you to know that whoever wrote this article, the marketer, said, the combat system's equally nimble, with fast-paced attacks and enemies that force you to dodge and think about your position.
Man, it's the Dark Souls of JRPGs, okay?
Oh my goodness, it is.
I also love the creativity in the names. Like, you can play as 2 characters. Letitia, sounds kind of, future science fiction fantasy. Or you can play as Raymond.
Everybody loves
them. Oh yeah, and I also forgot, technically they had on that article, most of them have already come out, so I didn't bring it up, but Final Fantasy Pixel remasters are still coming out. 6 will be coming next month.
That 6.
Next month.
I will play it, Tristan. I've promised you.
Thank you.
All right.
I will also have to play it because I keep getting bugged about this stupid tweet thread that it's
people still bring it back up.
Yeah,
nice.
It won't get, if you don't play it when it comes out, it'll just get worse.
Oh yeah,
God.
they'll just message you every day at Tristan.
Alrighty, that's all we got today. There's a lot, surprisingly, a lot of news in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're getting a good stream of gaming content, at least on the horizon.
Thanks,
so that's
Phil.
good to see. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's the next bombshell next week?
Who's gonna get bought? Kojima Productions bought by
Microsoft.
Konami.
Can you imagine?
Microsoft. Ooh, I could see that. Alrighty, well, that wraps it up for episode 88 of Viewport Relay.
Are you sure? I think it's 86.
You mean 86?
You know, what if I
Jump through
told you
time.
that 2 times, what did I say, 43 is
43?
actually 88?
Oh, man.
Actually, though, that wraps it up for episode 86 of Viewport Relay. Viewport Relay is available on Radio Public, iTunes, Google Music, Stitcher, Podbean, and all your favorite podcast directories. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to subscribe, review, and share it with your friends. We're also on social media as Viewport Gaming on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. But Tristan, why Viewport Gaming?
Well, Viewport Relay is part of Viewport Gaming, a website that provides a look into video games through reviews, features, and podcasts. You can find all Viewport content at viewportgaming.com.
Thank you, Tristan. As always, I've been your host, Albert Corson, joined by Tristan Jung.
Goodbye.
And Alex Nestor.
See you next time.